And welcome to Tech Talk Radio. I'm Andy Taylor, and coming to you from Tucson, Arizona, shaking out all the last minute, I got to do this. One of those, you know what, no matter what you do to get ready for a show, something will happen in between. I actually started an hour early today, which is unusual for me to start this early, but and I should have started a little earlier, knowing that today we're introducing somebody new to the show. Actually, somebody kind of new, but not really. And joining us here, we've got Slick, of course. Hello, Slick.
Hello.
And then right below Slick in the Brady Bunch box of video, we've got Justin Lemmy, a returning member to Tech Talk Radio. Justin, good to have you.
Hey, good to be back.
Now, last time you did a show, Justin, was, let's see.
2002.
Wow. I thought you were with us a lot longer than that, but you were with us until the demise of KTKT, right?
Shortly before that. I think I left October of 2003 when I joined boot camp for the Navy.
Right.
And it was just shortly after that, that's when everything went down.
So now what made you decide to go from radio to the Navy?
That's kind of a big jump there. It was actually kind of a family promise. My brother had, joined the Army, and then 9/11 happened, and he told me that he was scared, going off to war, whatever, and whatnot. But I told him, I said, look, if you get sent to war, I'll join up with you, but I'm not going to join the Army. I'm kind of allergic to bullets. So I decided to join the Navy because he called me up and he's like, hey, I'm getting sent. Oh. So I joined the Navy and didn't look back. It was great. Great time.
That's kind of cool. Now, the cool thing about you joining the Navy and is that you get deployed, and you got deployed to Japan. So I remember emailing back and forth with you while you were in Japan, and dude, you got to see all the really cool stuff when you were there.
Yeah, a lot of cool stuff, a lot of cool places. Japan is a beautiful country, and we had a lot of fun when I was there. 4.5 years.
Now, Slick, you're like an Army brat, right? I mean, so you got to see Europe, Germany.
No, I'm not an Army brat. I'm like an Air Force dependent. My great-grandfather told me a long time ago, he said, boy, don't you go in the military service. You ain't going to do what they're going to tell you to do, and it ain't going to turn out good. Yeah. And he was right, because they kind of pick on you in basic training and stuff like that. So I know, as soon as somebody told me, I want you to do that, and I go, I'm not doing that. It's going to be a problem.
Well, so I got to ask, do they do that, Justin? Do they still do that?
Nah, not as bad. No, not as bad.
Not in the Navy, no. I heard the Navy's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the Air Force, my second stepfather was in the Air Force, as well as my first ex-wife.
Oh, gee, that's a claim.
I got in there, and I was like, this ain't too bad as long as I'm not having to wear the uniform.
Right.
The interesting part is I find that Justin traded bullets for bombs. Now, and that was an upgrade. How does
bullets for bombs?
Yeah,
or cartridges for shells. Yeah,
the Navy is smart. We stay 500 miles back and bomb people. We don't have to get shot at on a daily basis.
Oh, don't edit that one.
Okay. I was just kind of wondering, because I'm thinking bullet, bomb, bullet, bomb.
My daughter wanted to get in the Navy. She tried really hard. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Jessica. But she tried
happy birthday.
Yep, there you go. And she tried to get in the Navy really bad. And boy, that's tough. It's not an easy group to get into. The work is different. The different methods of service are going to be different. I think they call it that. What do they call it when you pick? Here, I want to be a computer technician, or I want to be an aircraft mechanic.
Picking your rate.
You're right, yeah. So I mean you've got to be really good. You got to be the cream of the crop to get what you really want.
Absolutely. I had to do my ASVAB test, and I think I scored a 93 out of a possible 99.
Yeah.
They wanted me to go nuke, be a nuclear propulsion engineer, stuff like that. Just a smart geek guy. And I was like, no, I want to be in IT. So.
Well, I remember.
I had an opportunity to go into the Army because my ex-wife, the first ex-wife, was getting out of the Air Force.
Right.
And just for the heck of it, I applied. And they were going to give me, this was like at 23, I was going to get base of preference. So I could go anywhere in the world I wanted to. My choice.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lie.
I was going to get See, that's why I didn't go. I said, yeah, right. That's why I didn't go. I was supposed to get E3 and a bonus too, and this is all out of basic. This was with the Army though.
Lies, lies, lies.
Yeah, Thompson twins.
Dude, they're going to tell you whatever they need to tell you to get you to sign that paper, and as soon as you sign that paper, they're like,
we have you now.
Gotcha.
All right, so I have to ask, what are you doing now, Justin? Now you're working in IT, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, still in the IT field.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm working at a local television station here in San Diego, Fox 5 San Diego.
See, he's a true radio guy, because when he identifies another station, he calls it a local station.
Well, people see me and they're like, "Oh, you work for Fox? Does that mean like you work with like Ryan Seacrest on American Idol?" I'm like, "No, no, I don't work for national Fox. I work for a local Fox."
Yeah.
But yeah, it's Fox 5 San Diego, and it's the #1 station in San Diego.
Yeah.
For morning news at least, and I am a broadcast engineer or / IT, so kind of a little bit of both. Keep the station on the air.
We're still waiting for them to really explode the Fox up here with programming. They've been talking about doing, a morning show, a live 4 or 5 hour morning show, Slick, locally generated in Tucson. Which market size. You're in market number 5 now. San Diego's huge, isn't it? Is it?
Yeah,
or maybe
I think it's a 5.
It's in the top. I think it's in the top 10 now. But you're in a really big market. It's bigger than Phoenix. I know that much. But in Tucson, we're still market, 61 or maybe even 59 now? But
television? Yeah, I know, because radio we're like 62, right?
Yeah, it's got to be that. But locally, it's not been presented that well. And, Fox has been talking about coming in and doing some stuff. So hopefully that'll happen. Because I love the programming. I watch, and I'm not saying this because you're here, Justin, but I'm a Family Guy watcher.
Oh, I love Family Guy.
Family Guy rocks.
Love it.
And let's not forget to slip this in, Andy. And they should hire us, Fox 11 Tucson, KMSB. Hi, how y'all doing? We're just Andy and I. We ain't doing anything.
This fine show.
Weekday mornings.
Well, hey, I just got news. I got to tell you, I might be busy. And I'm going to share this with all of the Tech Talk Radio listeners, because I'm pretty excited about this. That TV pilot that I shot at the end of January, apparently now it is in the hands of a couple of the really big networks. Now, I'm not talking NBC. I'm talking cable. A couple of the big ones. They got it on Monday, and there's a very good possibility that this could get picked up. So
nice.
Our manager just got Pawn Stars picked up for another 80 episodes. So, I mean...
I've never seen Pawn Stars. Everybody keeps talking about it.
You're kidding me, really?
No. Man, I'm just getting tired of all these damn reality shows. I mean, there's a reality show about moving company. Come on, seriously?
No, there's not.
Yes, there is. Yes, I swear to God, there is on the it's either History or TLC. There is a show about a moving company.
Well, I've seen the one where they go in and they buy storage lockers, but not moving companies.
No, this is like they go out and they move people's houses,
right?
And you get to follow them and see how they move people's houses. It's like, wow, you've got to be really
Pawn Stars
really desperate.
Pawn Stars totally different. Pawn Stars is people bring in stuff, they talk about the history of it. You have 4 unique characters on the show.
Moving up.
What's that?
Sorry.
You have 4 unique characters of the show, and I just think it's, you got to check it out. It's a good show. It really is.
I will check it out.
I'm getting that confused, though. There's a couple of Pawn TV shows on.
Yeah.
So I'm confused. Is Pawn Stars and Pawn Stars, is that the one in Las Vegas?
Pawn Stars is the one in Vegas. They took over the all gold and jewelry pawn. It's right where the Stratosphere is, just down the street a little. And that's the one with the Harrisons. They run the place.
Okay, because there's another one on too that I was flipping through. And I go, this on this for.
The one I think you're thinking about is the one in Detroit. Detroit, is that it? Did we lose your audio, Slick?
Yeah,
No,
I think
I was just.
Oh, there he goes.
It's just
No,
off.
I just paused for contemplation. That's all.
I think it's
Okay.
off sync a little. That's all. But yeah, Detroit. They're in Detroit, and then there is another one with some girls, and I think they're in. I want to say they're in Atlanta, but I'm not sure. So I don't know. All right, we talk.
That show on TLC is called Moving Up.
So it really is out
I,
there.
I probably won't be watching that.
Yeah.
So what do you think? A show about motorcycles traveling across the country with two guys and a really hot looking girl? Do you think that would work?
Are you
Yeah.
gonna do the cliche? Get your motor running. Head
Wait.
on down the highway.
One
You gonna do
stunt
that
guy,
one?
one fat guy who likes food. I was crazy. I was watching. I don't think I can show the. We have what's called a sizzle reel pilot, and there's a shot in there where I take a bite of a sandwich because I'm the food guy, and there's food that drops out the bottom of the sandwich, and I'm thinking, couldn't you have like digitally taken that out because it looks disgusting? It's nasty looking. Anyway, so hopefully I'll hear something in the next week or two. So if so, that could be really good. And then I can afford to buy myself a new computer, and we can do the show from the road, which would be a blast. So, all
Can we
right,
get a T-shirt?
we'll get T-shirts. I
Yeah,
know
where's my T-shirt?
the logos? I have your T-shirt. Hold on. This is your T-shirt. This is the one we're going to give you.
What does it say? Beer makes my clothes fall off.
Did our boxer shorts come in yet, Andy?
Not yet. No, Bobby Lewis put a scoff on that.
Okay.
Don't make me go grab my selection of T-shirts I got. I got a bunch of them from T-shirt hell.
I would think you work at a TV station. You probably have some cool television shirts.
You know, I would think so too, but nope, they don't have any for me. So,
Really? Oh.
But no, I actually go to tshirthell.com and buy a bunch of really tasteless T-shirts.
You don't go
But it's
to
fun.
you don't go to Think Geek?
Oh, of course I go to Think Geek.
Yeah.
But T-shirts from T-shirt hell are even funnier.
Really? I've checked that out. What is it? tshirthell.com?
tshirthell.com.
Look at our first link you've
we're all-
shared.
Yeah, it's where all the bad shirts go.
Cool. All right. So your kind of expertise that we're going to use on the show, and you're welcome to comment in the chat room as well. Our chat room is at techtalkradio.com/live. If you're listening to this on the podcast, or maybe you're even watching this, on our stream as we replay this through the week till we do the next week's show. But if you are, feel free to send a comment there. You can also follow. We've updated our About Us pages. Even though we still have a new site coming, I decided I better go through and start updating this. So we've added Justin's bio there. Great photo, Justin.
Yeah, thanks.
Tell us the story behind the photo.
I was just I was at work, and they wanted me to install a chain in the back lot to keep out people from parking there. And so I had the chain, had it all unraveled, and I didn't want to have it get all tangled up again, so I put it around my neck and grabbed the drill because I had to go drill into the hole. And walking out there, people were like, "Oh my God, you look like Mr. T." So I had to make a pose like Mr. T. So you can see that up on the site.
It's good stuff. Well, we got that the bio and all that information up there, so you got to check that out. But your beat is really going to be, I think we're looking at you to be kind of our console, PlayStation gaming guy. My daughter Scarlett was going to do it, but getting her to write a review is really difficult. She's 18. Just can't do it. She's like, "Dad, give me the game." And I give her the game, and then I don't get a review. So
Yeah.
I apologize to Nintendo for
Are
that.
you surprised how?
So what?
You know who I'm talking about here, right?
I thought, you know what? She's 18. This would be exciting for her. She'll really want to do this. No. She's a gamer. She plays the games, but that's about it.
That's about it. Just plays them, doesn't actually review them.
Yeah, if you had to sit and actually sit down, and I even said, come sit in on the show, that was a little difficult. So made some minor adjustments. So Justin, that's going to be kind of your beat, and it's got to be really exciting right now, considering we're coming up to E3, and E3 is like the big electronic entertainment expo. What do you think?
Oh, it's going to be a great. It's going to be a great show this year at E3. Nintendo is going to be talking about their new successor to the Wii, most likely. Let's see what else we got here. Microsoft's going to be releasing a couple new things. Sony is going to be making a big splash with the PlayStation Move. I've heard this year. It's already been out. It's already been established, but they're going to try to gain up more people to join up with the Move instead of the Kinect or the Wii. But I think this year's focus is going to be on Nintendo to see what they're going to do as for the successor of the Wii coming out next year.
There's been a lot of people talking about, Nintendo was really the first to do the whole, motion gaming. You've got your nunchuck and your controller, and then, of course, you have the Move and the Kinect were both kind of announced at the same time. A lot of people have been talking about, okay, we want something now, and they're not even thinking. It seems like they're not even thinking about the Wii when it comes to the Wii Fit and everything else. They're looking at Move and 360, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if the Nintendo's become known as a toy and not a real console.
It's kind of. I mean, it's the problem with the Wii is the games are too easy. There's not really any. I don't even know how to really say it, but it's just, it's like you said, it's basically, it's starting to become like a toy. High definition, the lack of high definition is a big thing for the Wii. Everybody's going high def, so the Wii is kind of left behind. But now this new console is promised to do high def, so I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to offer with that.
Now, I know that EA is really, they've got a huge assortment of titles that they're going to be announcing. And, it's been kind of a disappointment when we look at Medal of Honor. We thought Medal of Honor was going to be huge, although it seems like it's still getting sales. People are still going out and buying it. But it's not like, it's not like Call of Duty or, and how huge that game is first day making, a million sales.
Well, look at what happened with Medal of Honor. The last game that came out here, when it first came out, or when it was first announced that it was going to come out, they were talking about making it Taliban versus United States as the fighters, but then there's a big controversy over that, so they had to change it to this unknown. It was United States versus an unknown enemy. That really threw it off for authenticity purposes, and then the gameplay itself was just not quite there. It wasn't up to par with Modern Warfare, and a lot of people were comparing as Modern Warfare being the gold standard. But this year, later on this year, Battlefield 3 is coming out. Battlefield 3 looks to be the Call of Duty killer.
Ooh.
I mean, it looks really sweet. The gameplay, the videos that have been released for it, Battlefield 3 is the real deal. And also another thing that's really going to hurt, I think, Call of Duty franchise is the new Modern Warfare 3 that's coming out. They're talking about making a paid subscription service just to play it. So that's really going to cause a lot of issues with people trying to, maintain loyalty to Call of Duty. They're probably going to move on over to Battlefield. I know I am.
Well, the physics in Battlefield are a little different. I mean, I remember going from Novologic's Joint Ops that I would play like almost. I was like my daughter. I would play every minute. I'd be typing a document and go, time to play. Okay, unemployment form filled out. Time to play.
Yep.
It was kind of like that was my thing. And then because I like the physics, I like you could jump in a helicopter and fly. But they didn't make it easy. They didn't make it hard. They just made it. You were flying. You could go from point A to point B, shoot things, and blow things up, and it was fun. And then Battlefield came out, and where you were able to fly. But oh my God, your plane would fly backwards, and it was like a paper airplane. And I gave up at Battlefield 2. I said, boy, the physics in this are I just can't fly. And it's either too realistic or so I never gave it another look. I mean, should I have given it another look beyond that? Did it get better?
It did get better. I mean, I think you gave up on it a little too early. When I first played Battlefield 1, I think it was Battlefield 1942. I think it was the first one that came out.
Yeah.
I was playing Soldier of Fortune at that time. So to try to compare Battlefield to Soldier of Fortune, which was the first-person shooter of its day, it was completely different game style, and I couldn't understand it. I kind of gave up on it right away, but then I said, a lot of people are playing this, so I kept on trying it, and you get used to the Battlefield, and it became really, really great. The physics got better and better as the games went on. Battlefield Bad Company was huge. What was that? Battlefield 2142. I think that was their worst game of their franchise, but
that's the one I gave up on.
Say that again?
That's the one I gave up on.
Oh yeah, Battlefield 2142 is horrible.
Yeah.
Stick with it. Go try Battlefield 3. You're gonna like it.
Really? All right. Maybe I'll give it another shot. My only other contention I have with the gaming industry is the price of games. But unlike any dad, when the kid comes up and says spend $60 on a game, you tend to say why? Why would I want to do that? But I will give a point to the fact that I've never seen the game. I haven't seen the previews. I know
Check
nothing.
out some of the videos.
I know nothing about it.
We'll put some links on the website later.
Well, the one I want to talk about is the one my daughter is asking for her birthday. It's L.A. Noire.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's funny. She pronounced it Lenore.
Lenore?
Can
I have that Lenore game?
I want to play Lenore. It's about a 58-year-old grandma that's shopping.
Yeah, L.A. Noire. Yeah, great game. Great game.
Now, what this is basically, it's done by the guys at Rockstar.
Yep.
But everybody's talking about the facial features are the best that's ever been in a game.
Yeah, Again, it was created by Rockstar, guys that did Grand Theft Auto, Red Dead Redemption, stuff like that. But what they did with LA Noire was they created it was a whole new technology process. They had real actors that would come in. So everybody in the game is a real person. It's a real actor. And what they did is they put up 12 or 15 cameras around their faces, and then they had them act out the scenes and then record every little facial movement of them. It wasn't done using the little white balls or whatever that you'd see for motion capture. It was actually captured with their real face, and so when it's mapped onto the polygon of the character in the game, it really looks like you're actually watching somebody. And it's important for LA Noire because you have to try to pay attention to how the people say stuff. It's not just what they say, it's how they say it. It's their facial features, it's their hands, it's what they do, it's the way they look around. So you have to be able to tell if somebody's lying, telling the truth, or just kind of trying to withhold something that they really don't want to say. So it's very important, and it really has just opened the door for new gaming.
Well, I know they were talking about the acting in it is top notch, and possibly because of that. Yeah,
top notch acting.
Courtney Gaines. Do you know who Courtney Gaines is? He's on one of my connections on Facebook. Talked about that he did one of the characters in this game and said it was pretty intense.
Yeah. Let's see. I don't know who that is, but I'll tell you another person that's on. I just had to look up his name right here. Greg Grunberg.
Oh yeah, Grunberg.
Yeah. He does a minor part, but it's definitely memorable.
Slick Nose Grunberg.
Is that Gunny?
Yeah, Gunny's doing
Gunny
it.
from Heroes?
That would be the guy from Heroes, yeah. Yeah, who's got a new...
Which game is this?
LA Noire.
LA Noire.
He's in there. Cool. I'm glad that I always want to see the folks from Heroes get something else, keep going, because I was a big fan of that show. I don't know why, but I was.
I was a fan of Heroes too, except once it was it the third season or no second season they just stopped.
Yeah, I was.
No, I think it was the third season, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was third season because I was out right after the first season. I was like, okay, and then it just took forever for it to come back.
Yeah,
I think that's what you mean. It just took forever. Kind of the same thing we saw with Bleep My Father Says. I thought, well, that show will continue, and then they just took too long.
Did that get canceled?
Yeah.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
You didn't like it? A minute.
I mean, come on. First off, the name Bleep My Father Says. I mean, how long?
They had to. It's stupid CBS television censor people.
I think you're talking about FCC censor people.
Yeah.
Well, them too.
It's not just CBS, there, my friend.
Yeah. Well, I first have to blame it on the network. Then I go for it.
Yeah.
We still got a wannabe coming up though. The Don't Tell Dave. We'll see if that makes it. That's Ashton Kutcher.
Oh yeah.
Ashton Kutcher's coming to replacing Charlie Sheen in 2.5 Men, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's replacing Charlie. I think he's just coming to the show. I really wonder about that.
Yeah,
I think he's gonna be either a new character or my original idea is he's Jake in the future.
Ooh,
Jake in the future.
Yeah, I haven't thought of that one.
Take a look at Ashton Kutcher, then look at a picture of Jake. You're gonna oh wait a minute.
Yeah,
Andy Taylor might be right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, it's on the nose. It looks like Slick. Did your camera lock up?
Whose?
Slick's. I think Slick's camera just like went bye. I can hear you.
It looks like I'm moving.
Yeah,
you're not.
Oh, there you go. What happened? What'd you do?
Well, because you said it locked up, so I turned it off to turn it back on.
You gotta warn me.
Goes.
You got
and here he comes.
Ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties.
You gotta warn me when you do that so I can switch. There you are.
It's DSL, everybody.
Which camera are you using?
I'm using the Creative, the one that they sent to us. The Creative, I don't remember the long name. It's the HD 720p.
And it's a HD camera. Justin's running the 9000.
Mm-hmm. That's what I found out. I found out by doing some research and some tests that in the case of the 9000 versus this HD 720p, you're going to get the Creative camera was really intended for 1 megabit up.
Wow.
And the 9000, 512 kilobits up.
Oh, really?
9000 looks pretty good. I mean, look at me.
Yeah, no, it does. It does look much. It looks much better there. I kind of, I do wonder about that. Well, it looks like you know what? Now
yourself.
you can find the cameras now for like $64. So maybe we'll bag this one and try the Logitech 9000 for you.
Okay, is that the latest one? No, you've got the latest.
I've got the latest.
How's the C910 working?
It looks great. It works great. I really like it.
Is that oh, you probably haven't checked, but I'll ask anyway. Is that 1 megabit up or 512 up, or do you know?
I believe it's 1 megabit up. I do. But, we got to remember, too, we're an originating source. You're Skyped. So for those who don't know, it's not like I have a big expansive garage and Justin's sitting over here and Slick's sitting over there. Justin is actually in, can we say, Justin?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, Justin's in San Diego and Slick is in Picture Rocks, which is behind us.
Are you paying attention to the show, Andy? You already outed him.
Whoa. What did I miss there? Okay, hold on.
We weren't going to say that I outed him, were we?
Well, the other stuff we were saving so so we could blackmail you later.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk about some of the other things that were announced this week, and I want to keep periodically checking the chat room. Got to say hi to Diamond Dave, who's popped in there. Also Tyson Brooks. Tyson, who works with, he does the web stuff for Steve over at TechBuzz. Great stuff, too, he does. USS Rover's in there. Gandalf, CC Mike, and then who Mike runs the IRC chat that we do. And then, of course, the Slickster and Justin here as well. So feel free to comment in the chat room. Tell your friends. We're kind of rebuilding this back up. Also, we've had some interest from some others too. Bruce Tusky, who's done the show before with us. Randy Malik, who's done it, and Mike O'Brien, one of the original creators of the show, with myself back when we were in Palm Springs when the show was just Tech Talk with Mike and Andy. So we'll have some stuff coming in, pretty cool stuff. So I do like it. All right. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on with Microsoft. There was kind of a preview this week, and I know that's been kind of one of the big discussions. What do you think, Slick? Windows 8.
Oh, Windows 8. Okay, all right. I didn't really watch the presentation.
Yeah.
I did pull up the screen on a live blog that was being done from there. It may have been done by Engadget. I'm not really sure. But I usually just waited because I was checking out what was coming up, and I went, I can wait. So after the presentation was done and made, I went back over the notes. I like the idea of them trying to make one operating system for consistency's purposes, if no other reason. They're going to have different interfaces, and that's probably going to be needed for different platforms.
Right.
Tablets, not necessarily so much for phones, but let's say for tablets, let's say for notebooks, and let's say for desktops. So you're going to have, you'll be able to switch the interface around. Tablet interface, standard menu interface, because I can see with a tablet where I'm going to need the start button, programs, that kind of thing. I'm going to want to be able to look around and get to where I need to go. The one thing, and we mentioned this before, and they didn't talk about this, Andy. They didn't talk about this, so maybe they're going to spring it on us later. But I know from some past research that what they're hoping is when they release Windows 8, there's going to be a feature in there that should work this way. You install Windows 8 on a computer. You get a USB drive. You plug in the USB drive. You can install a somewhat version of Windows 8 onto the USB drive, take the drive, and go to another computer, plug it in, boot to that drive, and still have your experience with maybe some of your programs. That's what I'm looking forward to.
My thoughts and a lot of talk was about the cloud. It seems like we're increasingly hearing, and I think a lot of that's got to do with Google's deployment of it. And I was listening to you guys talk about it on the Tech Buzz, but my thoughts were they're putting out Windows 8 and they're saying one deployment, just basically one install that everybody will do. You don't have the different SKUs. At least that's what it sounds to me like. You're not going to have the different SKUs that you have now with Windows 7. Ultimate, professional, business, student, all home, all of that stuff. It'll be one SKU. So you install it, and they may even get it to, and that's why they're talking to a lot of these embedded chipset people, because I think they're looking at it to be an embedded platform as one of the options. And then the features that you would want off of it, whether it be calculator, other features, maybe an Office plugin, all of that is what would be on the cloud. At least that's kind of what I'm thinking they're going to be doing on this. Not sure.
I see it to believe it, though.
Yeah. Because their model has always been that they want to go to the cloud. I mean, we've constantly heard them talk about the fact that they want to have cloud computing. They want to be able to, to be the one that you can pick and choose what you want to do. You can do a subscription, or you can buy the software outright. I think that's kind of what we're seeing. We're seeing them go in that subscription area. And that's why you'll be able to go to Microsoft and say, well, I would like Windows 8, but you know what? I need to use Word, but I only need it for a month. So I'm going to pay for a subscription for a month. And then you have it for a month. It's exactly what Adobe's doing now with the Creative Suite. The 5.5, which is just released, you can do a subscription. So if you're a motion picture multimedia production house and you decide, we've got a project and I need you to have a seat and I need you to have a seat and I need you to have a seat, 3 people that you're bringing in as editors, but you don't want to go out and buy the software, of course, for every one of them. That's, at $1,600 a pop for each one on the low end. It's going to be a little too expensive. So you'd said you pay $89 a month and 3 people can have seats to do editing and your production house is taken care of. What a great idea.
I could somewhat get into that where you have the 2 payments. You buy it outright it would be buy it outright or subscription. Yeah, I could see that.
So I think that's the direction we might see Microsoft going in. And a lot of it was talking about this release was for hardware. So that's what makes me think even more, where are they going to be going with this?
This release was for, what do you mean?
Well, this was not a release. I said this preview was, I should rephrase that. This preview was for the hardware manufacturers.
Oh, yeah, okay.
This is for them to take a look at, so that they can see where they're going to go. Although, I don't know. My thoughts are, I think they got it right with Windows 7.
Yeah.
Plain and simply. Windows 7 is, to me, better than XP was, XP Pro. They've got it right. Windows 64, is just perfect. If I stayed with that, I'd be fine for a few years. But it looks like they really want to keep people buying.
I really was surprised to actually see that they were going to talk about Windows 8 already. I mean, Windows 7 is 2 years old? Not even 2 years old.
Yeah.
They've done a great job. Windows 7. I'm running 7 right now, 64-bit, professional, and another copy of Home. Love it.
Are you now? You're still running Vista, right, Slick?
Yeah. Yes, I am.
Sorry to hear that.
Slick, would it make you happy to know that we have a license for Windows 7?
Really? Is it 32-bit or 64?
See, that's the thing. It's 32-bit.
Oh, I don't want that.
Well, see, because I've got the 3 working computers I have. 2 of them are 32, but this one that I'm on right now, the Alienware, can run 64 or 32. Plus, I got dual hard drives in it. So
yeah. Now, can you select which hard drive to boot up? I know I don't want to stray too far off the course here, but can you select which hard drive to boot up with in that system?
To do it within the BIOS, but otherwise I get the menu, the boot menu,
Oh, but you do get a menu. You can say, boot up to this drive or boot up to that drive.
Yeah, actually, on this computer right now, and only because it's wonderful and get them to work this way, I have Windows Vista 32, Windows Vista 64, and Ubuntu.
You have all of that on there?
Wow. Oh. That's a lot.
Why do you have all of that on there? That's a lot of programs.
Yeah, I have Windows 7.
2 drives.
2 drives, yeah. Now you have Windows 7 64. There.
Yeah,
Justin.
I do.
All right. That's what we're running. How much memory are you running out of that?
That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. I lost somebody there. What was that?
No, I was just saying that's the way to go. Windows 7 64-bit. Did you guys hear the news that the let me see if I can pull it up here. This was from blogs.msdn.com. The link, Andy, do you want me to send these links to you in Skype or just pop them in the chat room? Where you go?
Just go ahead and pop. You should be able to pop them in the chat, so we're able to do that.
Okay, because these were the ones I was sending to you until I had to reboot a little earlier within the program.
Well, it's interesting. Here in our chat room, Dave says, on another note, tied into Windows 8, did you hear about the hedge fund manager who called for Ballmer's head on a platter for talking about Windows 8? Because somebody who's investing in Windows, Microsoft, who's now saying, wait, you're an idiot for talking about Windows 8 at this point. But I think what
Yeah.
they're trying to do is they're trying to say, hey, we're constantly moving, we're constantly upgrading, we're constantly, making changes. But they're saying it's like, it's like saying it's you're getting to the point for the consumer where you're saying, wait a minute, slow down. This is like what the phone companies are doing to us, the cell phone companies. You're putting out a phone, you're announcing a phone that has all these great features, and then next week you've got another phone that does even more. And consumers are getting tired of it.
Well, I mean, take a look at. I think maybe one of the reasons why Microsoft's doing this is because Apple is releasing the new OS 10 Lion pretty soon. So maybe this is kind of Microsoft's answer to say, hey, we're still here too. We're coming out with new stuff every year.
Well, do you think people are I think people, though, are not going to migrate to Apple. I mean, just because they put out a new OS. They'll stay with the Microsoft, but they want it to work. But they're going to get ticked off if they say, oh, this is bigger and better. They say, well, why did I go out and spend $130 on this?
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I can't answer that.
I don't know. Well,
Yeah, Balmer's been in the hot seat for a while.
Yeah.
The people have been after because Microsoft they've been looked at lately, maybe not so much lately, as an also ran. So yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's just this one guy that's saying Balmer's got to go.
Well, I don't think it is. I don't think it's just the one guy. I mean, I like his what's the word? I like his what's the word I would use for it? His enthusiasm about the company. He's always been.
I don't know about all that, Andy. Come on now.
Well, I like his enthusiasm. I like the his evangelism when it comes to the company, but to the point where now I think it gets lost in the sauce with what is it that the consumers want. I think they should take a look at their browser and make it faster, and try and beef up the security to it. Now, one thing that was announced this week is supposedly Windows 7 64-bit is supposed to be the ipso facto when it comes to security. It's the most secure OS that they're saying that they've ever had.
Wait, which one was that?
Windows 7 64-bit.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the one. Okay.
Now, Slick, you had some info on that.
Yeah, I'll put a link in the chat room from the MSDN blog. And it has to do, in plain English, it has to do with the kernel patch protection, which we've had some discussions about this before. And having worked for Microsoft, I've had my complaints before where I've told stories about you install some software from a third-party manufacturer, and it modifies the operating system, and that makes the operating system unstable, rather than the third-party manufacturer creating their application and program designed to the specifications of the operating system from Microsoft. Well, this KPP, kernel patch protection, which you can look up if you want. I'll probably pop another link in the chat room for everybody. But with Windows 7 64-bit, to make it as stable as possible, this KPP, this kernel protection, kernel patch protection, is so thorough and so strong that you can. The kernel is easier to modify in the 32-bit version than it is the 64-bit version. Somewhat similar to Windows Vista 64 and Windows XP 64. But bottom line, when it comes down to it, Windows 7 64 is the most secure operating system, Windows operating system that's available, that's out there. So if you look for security, if you're looking for stability, go Windows 7 64.
I think most consumers out there are not buying the actual upgrades. They're actually buying new boxes at this point because of the price of them. Where you go out and you buy a PC for, I don't know, Justin, you were looking recently at the price of PCs down to about, what, $300, $400, $500? Yeah,
you can buy pretty basic, little towers from places like Tiger Direct, Newegg, stuff like that for as little as $300. But if you're looking for something more powerful, you're still looking at around $800, $900, $1,000. I priced myself out a computer last night, doing a little pricing, and just for the motherboard, the processor, and let's say 2 solid-state drives for my main drives, I was already looking at about $1,000 right there. Well, the processor, of course, being the most expensive piece.
Well, yeah, and then next would be those solid-state drives.
Yeah, solid-state drives. They're still not cheap. They're getting a little bit bigger in size. I think I saw the most was a 128 gig one, I think, last night. They might be a little bigger than that, but I saw 128 gig for about $200. So that's still kind of
for a solid state, really? That's
Yeah,
pretty
for a solid
good. I
state.
mean, because I always thought they were like around 32 or 64 gigabyte, and to me, that's like I can't do anything with that. You know, I've got a 300
Well-
gigger as my main. It's a Velociraptor. I can't. I mean, I get to a point where I like constantly have to move files off of it.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, what you want to do with the solid state drive is to have the solid state drive just as your OS partition, and just
Yeah.
put just your programs on it, and have all of your data, all of your music, all of your photos, everything is going to be on an external drive somewhere, or another drive, like maybe like a SATA 3. Drive, something like that. But your solid state is just for your operating system and programs. It's going to make a huge difference.
Now, what manufacturer
concur.
you Slick's back?
Yeah, there he is.
What manufacturer do you
Did
like?
I go away?
Yeah, you went away for a little while. You went into a Comaville.
What were you saying, Andy? What was that?
Which drive manufacturer do you prefer? If there is one for your drives.
Personally, wow,
I mean-
it's been a little while. Wow, Seagate probably. Seagate, I like Seagate, but I think the one that I saw it was a refurb on. I think it was Newegg or maybe Tiger Direct, but a refurb 128 gig. It was a Hitachi. So Yeah.
Even though they got bought, they're now part. They're going to be a part of. I think Western Digital, isn't it? I think. Or
Yeah,
are they going to be part?
I think
See,
so.
that's the thing. Are they a part of Digital or Seagate? I have a Hitachi that I bought, and it just will not boot as a boot. It'll work. I can access the platter, but it cannot be used as a boot drive, which is really kind of sad. I like WD. I'm a big fan of WD. I used to be Seagate, and it's funny because it's always kind of fluctuated. I always like Seagate because of their warranty and return policy. They've got a great warranty and return policy. So
yeah, Seagate's pretty good. I'm looking at Tiger Direct right now. I'm looking at some of the different things they got there. They've got a Plex Store 128 gig solid state for $289. They've also got a Kingston 128 gig for $179. So they are coming down in prices, but they're still pretty expensive.
yeah, I do like the idea of getting a solid state drive. It's just it's one of those things. I like to be able to do everything on it. So I don't know. Maybe
You just like to be able to have all the best toys. That's all.
Of course.
Admit it.
Absolutely. Of course. Please. I'll be very happy when they come out with a 3 terabyte Velociraptor drive. It's going to be as big as a bus, but
Yeah. Right?
it's full of fans, that whole bit. Speaking of that, actually, Dave, I want to mention before we move on, Dave mentioned in the chat room, used to be you could get a WD drive with a 5-year warranty. Can't do that anymore. Same with Seagate. 5-year warranty was, he's saying that they're the only one with the 5-year warranty. And it depends on which drive you're getting, too. You got to remember that. If you're getting a removable portable drive, I think it's maybe a 3-year, but you got to check, it does change. Seagate bought Maxtor. I used to like Maxtor. Maxtor was a pretty good priced drive. You could do pretty well with that. And then, let's see, then there's Hitachi, and then there was remember Toshiba used to make drives as well.
Back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, but I like what he says. He says here, whenever somebody cries to him about a computer costing too much, whip out a 50s, whip out an 80s or 90s computer shopper. That'll shut him up real quick. Do you remember that? I think my first computer was a 386 DX20. My first PC, I should say. I've had computers before that. Had an Apple IIe, then I had some other ones as well. But the first one, I think was about $1,200 for a 386 DX20. Might have been a DX16 as well. Crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mine was a 286 laptop that I found. Do you remember here in Tucson on Speedway? Maybe you remember it too, Justin, when you were here. There used to be Laptops Plus.
Oh, yeah.
Apple.
I used to actually. Did I actually work for them for a couple of weeks? I think I did.
Yeah, because I think they were here when I got here, so I remember them. They used to run ads.
Yeah.
I love that store.
They ran ads on KTKT, and then I think I actually. I'm pretty sure I think I worked for them for like 2 weeks.
Really? Just 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
It wasn't great.
Like, what was the
Don't
other?
ask.
What was the other one that was out here? And I don't know if they're still around. Slick, not rent a PC. 100. What is it?
Computer
100,
Renaissance?
no, computer
Whoa,
renaissance.
that sounded weird.
Yeah, he's off in space again. He's orbiting the Earth as we speak. That's why Slick he comes in once in a while when he
Slick
hits.
live from the International Space Station.
Sorry, Slick.
Thank you, Quest DSL. I love you.
What is Quest doing? Are they uploading files?
Quest is still in business?
Yeah, Quest is...
Just my computer renaissance.
Seriously. Yeah, I heard you mention Computer Renaissance.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Yeah. And he's gone.
it was purchased by some other company. I'm gone again? Oh, crap.
There you are.
Well, I'm moving on
We
Skype.
can only hear every other word you're saying. It's
I'm gonna really laugh my ass off, Justin. If he turns when he comes back in, all the books are gone, the shelf's knocked over, there's a hole in the wall.
I wouldn't doubt it, right?
Oh, Slick! Look
Here,
at.
let me show you this. Let me show you this, Andy.
Wait.
Take-
All right, hang on. Let me just do that. I didn't do that now.
No,
How's
he's
that?
trying to get- Well, Justin's showing a picture. Hold on, let me get a better shot of that. I'm trying to figure out that's Justin, but who's the other guy?
Who's the other guy?
Yeah.
You don't recognize him at all? He's a famous NFL quarterback.
I don't know who that is.
Philip Rivers.
Phil Rivers.
Philip Rivers of the San Diego Chargers. Yeah.
That's it. Yes.
Yep. Yeah, he actually came in last week into the studio and signed a really nice. Let me get it here real quick. A really nice framed picture of this for me. So he autographed that for me. You can't really see it because of the glare.
That might be able to kind of finance that that drive you want to get.
Yeah, right. No, I'm not going to sell that.
Oh boy, I tell you what, footballs and geeks not a good combo most of the time.
Yeah, right.
Unless you're playing Madden, maybe that's it. Yeah, let's see.
No, Madden 12 is pretty good. It's going to come out here pretty soon.
We're hoping Slick gets back in here.
Yeah, where did Slick go? He just completely he might be rebooting everything.
I think it's hilarious. You're in San Diego, which is about 3,000 miles away. He's really seriously only about 10 miles away from me.
And he can't even get on. Yeah. The Quest DSL. Hey, hold on just 1 second, Andy. I have to do something real quick.
Tell you what, we'll take a quick break. We'll see if we can get Slick back, and we'll be back with more of Tech Talk Radio coming up next. We are back after that quick little break from Tech Talk Radio. Thank you for hanging out with us. And our chat room is packed today. Marble Slinger, come on, man. We got Marble Slinger here. Everybody applaud. Woo! We've been trying to get Marble Slinger to come back to our show for 2 years.
Because he got to start.
2 years it's been, Slick. I think 2 years has been since he's been a part of the show.
Oh, he doesn't call, doesn't send any flowers. I mean, what are we supposed to do?
Yeah, it's not every time that I give somebody the clap. So,
Oh.
so
Ba-dum-dums.
happy to share that with you,
We need
Marble.
to get that sound effects machine going on again here.
Oh yeah, actually, I got to tell you, the BSW catalog came in yesterday. Now, for those of you who don't know,
there you go.
What BSW is, it's Broadcast Supply West, I believe. Is it Broadcast Supply West? And I went through, and I was marking everything that I want in the BSW catalog.
So basically everything.
Oh my God, it's so cool! All right, so first off, an ARC 10, which is a board made by Arrakis. It is a push-button board that has the remote starts. So if we wanted to have it hooked up to a CD player or a computer, we could hit the remote start button and it'll fire the next element that's lined up. It has a mute kill, so you bring up the microphone, everything else gets muted. I mean, and phone hybrid integrated into the board. And they're only about, you ready for this one? You can get an ARC 10 for about $4,000 to $5,000. That's not too bad.
Oh, that's it?
Yeah.
Oh,
And then they have the ARC 8 you can buy for $800. So, it's like, so I looked at that. I don't know what's better, Symmetrix or DBX when it comes to mic processing.
Don't know.
You're the engineer.
No, see, we deal with things that are only $25,000, or that's like our cheapest piece of equipment we have.
Here we go.
You're going on the road with a flip camera? No, take this $40,000 Ikigami here.
We just got 3 new live trucks recently. About like 6 months ago. The live trucks that we have, the cheapest live truck we've got is about $275,000.
Wow, man.
Most expensive one being around $600,000.
even that seems inexpensive because I went to a demonstration of a company that makes trucks, and they brought one around, and it was a 4-camera capable HD, had cameras. You could just pull them right out of the back of the truck. Had like an entire bench, an editing bench. You could roll out the back of the truck, right, and edit live from an event. It was right around 1.3 is what he said.
1.3 million?
Yeah, and it had redundant power supplies. It had backup generators, and it had an editing bay, had an audio bay, had a separate live feed capability. I mean, it was phenomenal.
Wow,
1.3.
That sounds pretty good.
But that included the cameras, the whole bit too. So maybe that's it.
So Justin, who goes joyriding on the weekend in those trucks? Is it you, or do you kind of cruise?
Shh.
You have any video you can share? You know what I'm saying? I'm just asking.
Just drive around the live trucks, think I'm looking cool.
Let me tell you. Have I told you the story about when I got fired from the city of Norwalk?
No.
One of the things that I will say got me fired from the city of Norwalk is we went off to one of the things.
Yeah.
Because I can't say they fired me for it because they waited a month before they let me go, but it was brought up in my exit interview. It was actually the reason I was fired was because they had no position available yet or anymore for what I was doing. I was production coordinator. So that was fine. But I think mainly it was because one day I went and I had keys, I had authorization, but I took the production truck to my friend Mike Gogan's house, who's an animator now, and we would pull the cameras out the back of the truck, with the cables. We had a switcher inside the truck and everything, and we set it up in his garage, and we invited our friends over that thought they were funny, and we did a comedy show.
Oh, gosh.
From his garage. 3-camera, multi-camera, shoot. We're doing it was great. We put it on 3/4-inch tape. When it came time to leave
Go on. I got a question after this, but go on.
When it came time to leave his house, we rolled the cameras up, put the cords up, put the cameras away. Everything was nice, and I'm leaving, and Mike's standing in his front yard, and he's waving at me, and I'm waving at him. We're good buddies, saying, "Hey, see you later." And he gives me this look just as I put it in drive and hit the gas pedal, like, no. There was a tree branch. It was hanging right above the cab of the truck, and the cab, of course, came up quite a bit because it's a cab you could stand in, and I banged that thing and it put a hole in the truck.
Ooh, ouch.
Yeah. Luckily, it didn't do any damage to the inside components, but it was probably about $5,000 worth of damage to the truck itself.
Ouch.
Yeah. So there you go.
Did you sneak it back in the parking lot and then hang the keys and just kind of tiptoe away?
Yes. Yeah, I did. The next day, I went in and talked to the city manager. He's like, well, what were you doing in Buena Park?
Oh, man.
Because we were in the city of Norwalk. And he was, what were you doing in Buena Park? And I told him.
How many times did you get away with it before you were caught then?
Oh, we do it every weekend. I take that truck out. Come on. We were filmmakers. We were shooting stuff every weekend. It was like, wow, I have access to, Sony cameras. I have access to a full-color truck. Wouldn't you? Please. And I mean, if I was doing it now, I'd be making money on it too. But crazy. Yeah.
I can't answer yes because I'm unemployed and still work. And I don't want a potential employer to pick up on that. No,
yeah, if there are any potential employers listening, that was just meant for comic relief. Oh, boy.
You can hear them hanging up now.
Yeah. Click, unhireable.
Yep.
Oh, jeez. All right. I want to talk about Duke
he was
Nukem.
young, then he needs money.
We talked about games earlier, and I want to talk a little bit about Duke Nukem. You had some information about this, Justin, and I thought was kind of interesting. And Dave in the chat room, Double D, Dynamic Dave, Diamond Dave, says that they got the game, they're playing it, but the scuttle on this. But people have been waiting for Duke Nukem Forever to come out. Forever.
Wow. Yeah. So Duke Nukem back in the day was probably one of the best games ever for the PC, and it took them 14 years, 3 different studios to finally come out with Duke Nukem Forever, which is coming out for the Xbox, PS3. Actually, it's already out for the Xbox, PS3. I'm sorry, wait, take that back. Is it out already?
I see. That's the
said the
thing I was
demo.
I
wondering.
thought it was, yeah.
Or is it a
I think the
demo?
game- No. I think the game is out already too. I thought so. Anyway, but now I'm looking at the story here, and apparently what they're talking about is the Duke Nukem Forever demo. It took them 14 years to design this game. You would think after 14 years they'd get it right. Turns out it looks like this demo is just horrible. The game is horrible. So that's I think that's going to be the final nail in the coffin for Duke Nukem.
What I'm trying to remember, there were different Duke Nukems. There was the Duke Nukem, and then there was Duke Nukem 3D, which I mean was fun to play. I think partially because of the voice work.
Colorful, raunchy, tasteless, all the best parts about a game.
Remember the strippers? I mean, I was younger. I was 35 when the game came out. They were hot. But I just remember Duke Nukem being cool. Who was the voice of Duke Nukem? Do we know? Is it the same guy?
I don't know that the new voice here. I'm trying to look into it, but yeah, I was going to say one of the best parts about Duke Nukem was the guy's voice. The acting. Mm-hmm. But I don't see.
They've talked about a movie. I think Uwe Boll was saying he wanted to make a movie, and everybody was saying not over our dead body.
Yeah, Boll. Okay, yeah, that's why it's not going to happen right there.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought Postal was good. Not.
Yeah.
Oh, but don't expect it to be too good.
I actually bought Postal on Blu-ray.
Did you like it?
No, but I mean it's funny, but no.
Yeah, it was cool. Did you see Vince Desi in it?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Vince Desi is the creator of it. Lives in Tucson. Been on Tech Talk Radio a bunch of times. Good guy. Actually invited us to the Tucson premiere. So me and Carol went out there and we broadcast from the premiere, and it was kind of fun. But I think the funnest part about that was the Postal Girls coming and hanging with us.
Absolutely. I remember we had a studio for the Tech Talk.
And then the writer. The writer of, I think he was the writer. But I shouldn't say what he was, but he was involved. No, he wasn't even the writer of the movie, but he was involved somehow with the production of the movie. Coming up to me and having a nice chat with him and asking me if I wanted to go out and smoke a bowl. I'm like, no, I'm all right, thanks.
Looks like it says here that Duke Nukem was voiced by an actor named John St. John.
John St. John.
Uh-oh.
Yes, what a name.
That name sounds familiar.
Really?
He's a top 40 radio DJ in Carolina. Oh, Phoenix.
Oh, is he?
Oh, yeah. He's
In
all over the
Phoenix.
place, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, I can do that.
I'm thinking waka 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 waka.
Oh, that porno guy. Yeah.
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 Oh.
That's pretty neat. Yeah. Okay. Dave says Duke was a side scroller originally, and then they used the. I want to say was it the Castle Wolfenstein? Was it the Wolfenstein engine or was it the Unreal Engine? And it just made the gameplay so much fun.
Let's see here. I think it was the Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page for Duke Nukem right now. So
that's pretty cool. That was always fun to play. I really enjoyed playing the Duke Nukem. That was good stuff.
Well, they're taking pre-orders.
So yeah, it looks like maybe the game itself isn't actually out yet. I thought it was already out, but maybe that was just a GameStop pre-order. Like they have the box up there, and it must be like pre-ordered or something like that. Because I thought it was already out.
Out of all the games that have been announced, maybe even at E3 Day, which is going to start on Monday, out of all of them, is there one title that you want to play more than anything else?
One title that I want to play anything else?
More than anything
Battlefield
else.
3.
Battlefield 3? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's not going to come out till I think it's October or November this year, but definitely Battlefield 3 is going to be probably the hottest game this year.
And you think that'll be bigger than Call of Duty 3?
Call of Duty always has a huge launch party. It's a huge following for it. But I really think that when Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out against the Medal of Honor and how they had, Medal of Honor was going to be a great game. It's going to be the Call of Duty killer, and it flopped. I think Battlefield 3 is going to try the same thing, but I think they're going to succeed.
I would like to see, and Slick, I want to hear from you too, but I would like to see a new flight sim from Microsoft.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's about time. I think the last one we saw was back in 2006, maybe 2007. I think 2006 is when that one came out.
Flight Simulator 10 you're talking about, right?
Yeah, Flight Sim 10
X.
or Flight Sim X, yeah.
Yeah.
It's unofficial because the one that's out now is unofficially compatible with Windows XP. Windows 64. I'm sorry, Windows 7. So it works. I've got it. It works, and I've been able to download some airplanes. Now, apparently, there is a title that's under development. I'm on Wikipedia right now, and they're saying that it was announced in August 2010, and they'll say that it'll actually replace. It's called Microsoft Flight, and it'll replace Microsoft Flight Simulator, which has been discontinued.
Really?
Yeah,
they
actually discontinued it, and they're saying it'll be compatible with Windows Server, Vista, Windows Server, and Windows 7. Who's running Flight Sim on a server?
Some people are modifying server for laptops. I've read where some people were modifying it.
Huh. Very interesting. I hope to God they don't only put this out, though, for the Xbox 360.
Why would they put a flight simulator out for the Xbox 360?
Exactly. Let's hope they don't. It's Microsoft. Come on. Oh, let's port it for the 360.
They might have a port, but Flight Simulator's always been a PC game.
It's got to be a PC game.
It's got to be PC.
Yeah. So
you got to sell a joystick here and there, guys. Come on.
One of the things that I loved about Flight Simulator 10 was I got into it, and I was telling you, Andy, on the phone, was that I got into the multiplayer community, and I even got to, what was the website? BostonVirtualATC.com, and they would actually have a real flight air traffic controllers that would, on their spare time, they would train amateurs, and then what they would do is they'd actually staff up a live air traffic control center based out of Boston's airport. And you would actually be able to contact them. You have to contact clearance. You got to contact ground. You got to get permission to take off. And you're flying on their simulator, on their server. So whatever plane you want, you got to contact them for clearance. They give you clearance. You go to ground. You go to departure, and then you're up in Boston Center, and then you just fly around Boston. But you're actually in communication with real air traffic controllers at all times. I thought that was one of the funnest features of playing Flight Simulator, was being able to actually talk to a real person.
See, I think that's how you make a franchise continue, is you put a excellent multiplayer capability into it, because then you have a game that changes.
Absolutely. And what was really funny too, a funny story is one time I was flying around Boston. There was about 15 or 16 planes that were flying in the area, and there was I think it was about a 10-year-old kid who was Boston center. And I mean, you have to be really, really good in order to be able to be the center controller, because you're in charge of everybody. And so he was a 10-year-old kid in Boston Center, and he was just calling out left and right, November 257, you're cleared to go ahead and land on runway 7, and then, he was just calling out the shots left and right. And so I thought, hey, I'm going to test this kid. So what I did is I went ahead and I squawked out an emergency code, and I called in for a mayday. And what I did is I just shut my engines down, a little Cessna, just shut them down. I called in for a mayday. Without skipping a beat, this kid cleared out the ground, cleared off the runways, and allowed me to coast in and land for an emergency. And this was it was great. It felt so real.
Then a little virtual truck came from the FAA to examine what happened and realized you switched off your engine, then arrested you.
Yeah, right. For filing a fake mayday.
Either that, or it was a kid's dad that actually worked in the tower, and he was just letting his kid call in some landing patterns.
No, but this kid actually was one of their number one air traffic controllers, and that's all he did. Every day he would, after school or whatever, he'd get on and just call out air traffic control stuff. Another thing I did too with that, the same thing, is I also joined a virtual airline, and I think it's United Virtual or something like that, unitedvirtual.com. But you would actually fly a virtual airline. You'd have to apply for your schedules like a real pilot would, and you start flying smaller planes to start with, and then as you get more experienced and you get more hours under your belt, you get up to bigger planes. So I was able to get up to a 737 flying regional from Boston to Chicago. Well, so that was pretty fun.
I finally finished the picking the guys up off the oil derrick. And I'm thinking, well, I want something a little more exciting than this. It's a helicopter, Slick, and you're flying an inspector out to the oil derrick, and the oil derrick starts exploding while you're there. And you have to rescue two guys off the oil derrick, and then you got to fly and land on an oil tanker that's moving.
Does this game happen to be sponsored by BP?
Yeah, no, I don't think it was.
I'm thinking, too soon?
Yeah.
All right, Slick, your autofocus just wigged out, because now I feel like it's like one of those movies.
Dream World.
They're taking the patch off the guy's eye, I can start to kind of see, and then it comes in clear.
Yeah, I'm looking at the playback.
Mom, what happened to you?
Maybe I don't want to adjust my autofocus.
Yeah. Hey, maybe the picture will be clear here. Oh, boy. Yeah,
maybe that's just right. Exact. Boy, that really did go out. It's still out, isn't it?
Yeah. Dave says, looks like Slick is out of focus. I'm like, yeah.
He's in the shower. That's what he
Actually,
says.
no, Dave, adjust your monitor.
No, see,
you know what?
Slick, we're actually censoring Slick right now because he's kind of he's actually naked and you can't see that, so we're kind of censoring him.
Careful, he'll stand up.
Shades of Dr. Tun from Second City.
Oh, gosh. Hey, speaking of movies, the big movie out this weekend, X-Men, had a guy review it.
First class.
Yeah, had a guy review it yesterday for me on the morning show. Said it's like one of the best X-Men's ever made.
Really?
Yeah, he said out of all of them that have ever been made, this is the one. He said, go see
I'll
it.
have to go check it out. Have you guys seen Hangover Part 2?
No, and I want to see that, but everybody's giving it like bad reviews.
No, what are you talking about? No, everybody's saying it's a rehash of the first, which
Right.
it is. It's a rehash, but the thing is, it's still funny.
Yeah?
Yes, it's very funny. I mean, I can't lie, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
But everybody I've talked to says, yeah, it's a rehash of the first one. It's the exact same thing, but it's funny.
Well, I hope so. I mean, I hope it's funny. If I'm going to spend, $5 or $6 to go see a movie, what am I saying? $12 to go see a movie.
12, I was going to say $6. What year are you in?
It's got
Back in my day, movies cost 25 cents.
$1. They were $1.
I remember when it brought in the color.
They brought sound into the moving pictures.
Geez. All right, so a little something there. You guys are crazy.
VistaVision.
All right, who here has been to a Pussycat Theater? Raise your hands.
What?
Nothing. Never mind. Just wondering.
Can you define that a little bit more clarification? Because
Hey, family show.
Oh, okay.
All right. Do have a couple of things to show you now, Slick. We still need to get. I want to do the test. We haven't even taken this out of the box yet. But for those of you running USB 3.0, this is the new 32 gigabyte Data Traveler Ultimate 3.0. Now, the crazy thing is this is the newest version of the Data Traveler, and this is the one you're going to want to be getting. I'm sorry, I just stopped and looked at Slick's camera. Looks like somebody just kneed him in the.
It's just frozen like.
You're frozen again. Let's all make the face. Ready? All right, let's all make the face. Let's be. Oh, he laughed. I was going to say that'd be our screen grab.
Oh no.
Anyway, now Slick, do you still have the packaging for this one?
Oh, and he's gone.
There he is.
No, for the 32, for the first version of the 32,
Yeah.
I don't have the packaging. Actually, I did. I set aside the version 1 to try to get it over to you so you can do the comparison test.
All right. Well, this says 100 megabits per second, 70 megabits per second. So, love to see how it rates when traveling over a USB 3.0 port. So, anyway,
It's kind of hard to find USB 3.0 ports out right now. You got to have pretty much a brand new PC to do it.
well, brand new PC, a board, or even an add-on card. You can do it with an add-on card.
Yeah,
and there, what is it? TrendNet has some. I believe most of the manufacturers have them. You can even buy. What did we get? We got a USB drive from Western Digital, and it came with an actual USB 3.0 card. So that's very handy. Our board, we have a card in. We don't have a board with USB 3.0 yet. But in our new system we're going to be building, that will have a USB 3.0. I ended up making the jump and bringing my computer home from work. I took my own personal PC into work because they didn't have anything more powerful than a Pentium 4 3.0 gigahertz with just about 768 megs of RAM, and I do video editing. So I took my beefaroni system there to work and had it sitting on the desk, but I would leave at 11 o'clock and it'd just be sitting there all day. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring it home and I'll make use of it here. But so I'll be able to test it on that because that's USB 3. Okay, so that's one thing I wanted to mention there. Other thing is, and I talked about this last week, I think, I had a customer or a client of mine that is very well off, that is 26 years old and destined to be a star on television, where I'm actually in the planning stages for putting together a TV pilot for him. And so he is frustrated because I don't have a phone per se. That is, I mean, I have a phone, but I don't have service on it. And, companies send us phones, and I use them, and then I send them back. And so my number changes constantly. And he was a little disappointed because he said, I have ideas. I want to bounce off you. He's one of those guys. I want to bounce these ideas off of you, but you're not around, and I can't get you on the cell phone. So I told him, okay, well, call me at this time. He said, well, I like to be able to talk to somebody when I want to. So what does he do? He comes and he puts the phone on my doorstep. I told him I didn't want one, and he puts it on my doorstep and says, use it. So I've got it. It's the Samsung Fascinate. I'm pretty impressed with it. It's an Android device. It's part of the Galaxy line, and it is on Verizon, so it's nice because I haven't tried Verizon for a while. And I'm finding all kinds of really cool apps. The best app I have found so far, Justin, I don't know if you play around with apps on your phone.
Oh, absolutely.
Is a word. It's a word game.
Words with Friends?
Yes, that's the one.
Everybody's got that. Words with Friends.
It's like Slick is looking at me like, huh? I don't. It's like a Scrabble game, and you play with your friends. You find them online, and what else?
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly. You just you find them online, and it doesn't. The cool part about it is it doesn't have any time limit, so you can take days in between your turns.
Oh, gamers!
I like it.
See, this is what I'm playing right now. Still.
What is that one?
Angry Birds.
I just downloaded that. I've never played that. How do you play it?
Oh my God, Angry Birds! You've never played Angry Birds?
Never played. I've got it on here. It's this one right here.
Let me see.
You can even do it in Google Chrome now.
Really?
So,
for the PC?
Yeah, Chrome. Yeah, you can actually play Angry Birds in the Chrome browser. Go ahead. What was that, Slick?
No, that was what I was saying.
Okay. Well, yeah, so like you can have this on iOS. This is where it came out. This is the #1 app that's been on the iPhone or iTunes store for, almost the past year. But basically the objective of it is, it's kind of hard. It's going to get out of focus there. But you have these birds, and you are trying to destroy these pigs by launching the birds through the air. And it's a lot of fun. Really fun game. My wife loves it. She's played it. She's actually beat the whole game, gotten 3 stars on everything. Yeah, there you go, Andy. You got it right now. I see it. I see you got it.
Nice.
So wait a minute. You launch birds at pigs.
Yep.
And that's
and you try
fun.
to destroy. Try it, Slick. Don't knock it till you tried it. All right. It is so addicting to play this game. It's so much fun.
I'm thinking that's what I heard about heroin. However.
See, this is the sound effect for it.
Wow, that sounds like fun.
It's so much fun, and seriously, if you start playing it, you'll start recognizing the sound effects, and then you'll be walking around town or anything going on, and you'll hear people playing it, and you're like, oh, they're playing Angry Birds. It's so much fun.
One of the other apps that I got on here, it's like you were going to say something there.
I was just going to say, I've heard of people playing it, and they were in the men's room in the stalls.
Yeah, you can hear it all the time. You can hear it in the stalls.
I like this one, Digital Slate. If I'm shooting a video and I want to slate it. Now, normally you use slating for syncing purposes, but also to help you with shots. If you want to just, say this is shot 2 and you have somebody writing it down. That's kind of a cool little slate feature for your camera. This is absolutely free, so you just do a search on the marketplace just for slate, and you'll find a couple of them. This one I kind of like a little more than the other ones. It's called a Slate It Beta. There's another slating program too, which I didn't think was as dynamic, called Sync. And let me load that up here. Let's see. And it was just a little different there. So I kind of like the other one a little better. But I don't know, kind of neat stuff. There's all kinds of great apps. So I'm having, the thing is I didn't really want to have the phone, but I'm actually having so much fun on it that I'm not looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Yeah, start playing that Angry Birds. We won't see you for the next couple of weeks then.
That's what you have to do when you want to talk to Andy. You have to buy him a phone and go, here you go.
Yeah, and not even that. And not even that. Try to get a hold of him, call him, he doesn't answer, so you have to send him a Facebook message just to get him to answer his phone.
And that's the best way to reach me, seriously. So I'm always on that thing. All right, but here, Slick will like this one because he was originally the one that, we were talking with them, and then he followed through and said, I want this. This came in yesterday. This is from Boost Mobile. unlimited nationwide talk, text, and web. So if Slick can get me that USB device, he can take this device and put it through its paces. It's this the Boost Mobile Samsung Factor. And it has a camera. It has all these features. Now, here's the neat thing about this phone. Let me take it out of the box here. Now, unfortunately, Slick, we do have to send this back. But that's okay. It's kind of a drag.
Now, stand by, everybody, because they've got some newer models out that they sent us this one because the others weren't available. But these newer models are really cool.
Well, the nice thing about this phone is that it's only $50. So you buy the phone for $50, then you buy your service for $50. It's unlimited everything. I mean, that's the nice thing about it. It's not an Android system. It's a phone. It has a camera. You can listen to music on it. There's a place for hooking up to your PC, or you can charge it as well. And you use it just as a phone. This is if you're looking for a low cost solution, and if you pay your phone 6 times, you get on time. You get a token, and it drops $5. It'll go all the way down to $35 with the Boost plan. So you can end up paying $35 a month for your unlimited nationwide talk and text, and then for $5 more, you get it for international service as well. So I like that. So
very cool.
So you can try that out, Slick. Uh-oh.
Okay.
Don't want to lose the phone number on that. A couple of books too that we got in this week. Pretty excited about this, and I was hoping Raven would be with us today, and I'm hoping maybe we can talk to her during the week. She would like this one. It's called Discovering the Magic Kingdom. And it talks about how to save money, some of the different passes you can do, ghost stories about it, hidden secrets, especially the one about the basketball court in the top of the Matterhorn. Just all kinds of stuff. And then it's written by, let's see, I don't want to get his name right, Joshua Schaefer. I think we're going to talk to him this week as well. But it's an unofficial Disneyland vacation guide. Really, everything you want to know about the park. I mean, look at this stuff.
There was that's a really good book, and there's also there's an app that you can actually get for the Android phone and for the iPhone that was actually pretty cool too. It's called Mouse Wait. I had it because we just recently went up to Disneyland, and it was a really cool app. What this does is it uses users. Oh, sorry, but Angry Birds. Users go on and they post wait times for the current rides and the fast passes for Disneyland. So you can go on to your phone. You can find out what the current wait times are for all the rides around Disney. You can also see a park map and find out where things like restrooms are, what type of where's the restaurants. It's a really, really cool app. And then there's like a forums where you can go in there and ask questions about things. People do things like the hidden Mickeys. There's like I don't know, 50 or 60 hidden Mickeys around.
Excuse me?
Yeah, there is.
Mickey Mouse. I'm thinking. Sorry, you said Mickey.
What's on your mind there, buddy?
It's where you come from is what you know.
Yeah, right. But no, it's a good app, and it's free.
Disneyland thing, yeah. I've never really been into Disneyland or Disney World, but she spends a scaringly awful a lot of time there, Andy. She really does.
Yeah, well, she's got the annual pass. That's why.
Oh, okay.
I mean, why not?
I'm still with why. I'm still back on the why.
Yeah, hold on. Gloria's here, and I wanted to ask something. Gloria, what's up? You want to say hi to everybody?
Hi.
Hey.
Hey, Gloria.
I'm just saying hi. What's up?
I need money.
You need money?
Me too. Hello.
Wallet, I think, is in my computer bag in the living room. Okay.
Not anymore.
What do you need money for? Shopping.
So, one other thing too I wanted to mention. One last thing about the video game world is that whoever has the PlayStation has probably recently seen that the PlayStation Network, while it has come up a couple weeks ago for online play, just a couple days ago they finally got the store back up online. So that's a pretty big.
Wait, I was reading a post by our good friend on one of our boards who said that they were hiding passwords in plain text.
Absolutely.
What the heck is that all about?
Yeah, they did that. I don't know exactly what the whole thing behind that was, but they said that passwords, information, like name, address, phone number, stuff like that was all stolen. Yeah. But they said credit card data was not.
Now, Slick, you had you got some info on this, didn't you?
Yeah. Let's see. Well, let's. This goes back. This goes back. So let me try to summarize this real quick. So we talked about GeoHot a little bit. Now, GeoHot was a guy
George Hotz.
Yeah.
that posted up some information on the place. They didn't like it, and they sued him. That whole thing. Okay, so that starts from there, and then people got upset about that. So that's why they started hacking Sony. Just various organizations and stuff was just going after Sony. And the latest thing was they went after Sony Pictures, the movie website. And
Yeah,
that
I heard about
website.
that. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
that's the latest.
the group that hacked into the Sony servers here in San Diego actually was where the attack originated. They say it's the group Anonymous, but Anonymous has claimed that they have nothing to do with it. But they found traces of Anonymous's call sign or calling card left behind on some of these servers. So they say it was Anonymous that attacked it. But what happened, in case you happen to be living in a cave, Slick, or no, I'm just joking.
How does he know what this place looks like? How does he know?
Where does he know I'm hiding at? Oh my God! No, but in case you have not heard, yeah, a couple was it April 20th? Hackers took down the entire Sony PlayStation network, Curiosity services, and the Music Unlimited services for Sony. So all of that went down. Caused a huge, massive outcry from all the people. First off, Sony didn't tell anybody what happened for a good week and a half. So people were like, why is this going down? What's going on? And then all of a sudden, Sony comes out like 2 weeks later and says, oh, yeah, by the way, your stuff was stolen. So then people got really pissed off, and they did a class action lawsuits in the works against Sony because of the mishandling of information going on there. Sony was working on redoing their network, got it back up about 2.5, 3 weeks ago, and then just a couple days ago, they finally brought back on the store. So that was kind of what happened there. But for the people that were without the network for so long, Sony had to do something to make up for it. So they came up with this welcome back program where they would give you a couple games. They'd give you a couple games to download for free to keep. If you were a PlayStation Plus subscriber, which is just the premium service for the online, because PlayStation Network's free. So if you were a PlayStation Plus subscriber, you get an extra 60 days. You get a couple movies on them for free. I kind of really think that Sony didn't do as good as they could with the Welcome Back program. They were originally mentioning doing double cash weekend. So if you buy $50 in PlayStation Store credit, you actually got $100. Now that would be a good thing.
No.
But they didn't. But what they did do is they offered a couple games out, and what's actually interesting is you get to go pick your games, but the servers were so overloaded that once you clicked on purchase and it says, "Oh, you've actually thank you for purchasing this game," all of a sudden now the game doesn't show up anymore. You don't get to download it, and people are like, "Whoa, where the hell did my game go? I just purchased this. You just gave it to me for free. I can't find it." So Sony had to re-release the games back and say, "Okay, go ahead and re-download them again." So there's kind of a big problem with that. The servers are just being overloaded. You can't even get into the store half the time because there's so many people trying to cash in on all these free games.
Crazy.
So that's what happened with Sony.
So their solution is to frustrate you even more as a Sony customer.
Yeah, pretty much. Sony is really going to have to do something a little bit different here to get back the people that they lost. I mean, I don't think they lost a lot of people. I just think the people are so pissed off at Sony that they're going to have to do something different besides just these free games. Half the games they're releasing, they got Dead Nation, Infamous, Little Big Planet, Super Stardust HD, and Wipeout are the games you can choose from. Games that are 2-3 years old, people have already got. People are complaining, I've already beat these games. Why am I having these? Why are you offering them for free? I don't want them.
Give them. It's like buy the DVD bin at Walmart.
Exactly.
You've probably already seen these, but here we'll give them to you at a good price, so maybe you'll want them.
Yep. Yeah, but I mean, they could really. I think if they were to turn around and redo that double cash weekend, that's going to be a huge thing. But they're not going to want to do that. They don't want to spend more money than they have to.
Well, they've lost a lot of money too. Let's face it.
Oh, they lost millions.
This is and you would think, a gaming network? How is that going to play into it? But apparently, it's now. Have they changed their security methods though?
They completely, according to Sony, they completely rebuilt their entire network. But whether or not it's hackable, I mean, everything's hackable. But they said they rebuilt the whole thing, more security. They've got better monitoring going on. But I think it's just a matter of time before they get hacked again.
Yep. Wow.
I hate to say it, but
did we get Slick back?
Yeah,
I am. Yeah, he is.
You just dropped out for some reason. I think you need to go out and rewire your connection out there.
They've already done it. I think that's the best they could do.
Wow.
Fiber is what I need out here, folks. Fiber. Send me fiber. I'm not talking about the brand type. I'm talking about the cable.
Now, Diamond Dave, he's saying in the chat room here, he's saying, don't forget to mention that Japan and other Asian countries have not allowed Sony PlayStation back online in their countries yet. I don't know about that, Dave, because I believe Japan, where obviously Sony hails from, they actually had the PlayStation Network on prior to America having it back online. So I think you might want to check that out, maybe see if there's a link out there, but I'm pretty sure that other countries have their PlayStation Network back online already.
All right, that's good news.
But I'll look into that.
Here's something I wanted to mention. Slick, you were going to add to that?
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think I agree with Diamond Dave. Last time I checked, Japan was the holdout. Japan was saying, you guys aren't secure enough, no way.
It's interesting. I'm trying to look in that right now.
Either that or maybe it's Japan has got their own little network going and they're just keeping it in-house. They're keeping it within Japan's borders.
Well, see here, I'm looking at I'm looking at an article here saying that almost 2 weeks after the breach, the PlayStation Network was coming back online in Japan already. So that's kind of weird.
Yeah, maybe that's it though. Maybe they just closed it off to the rest of the world. So we're waiting for Slick to get back into the chat here, into the video. Let's see. Okay. I was just checking something else out there. I did have a question that I wanted to address. This is regarding the Xbox 360 Kinect and the PS3 Move. Now, I had a question from a listener who wanted to know. She says she's thinking about getting the Xbox 360 and Kinect on Monday. This will be this Monday.
Okay.
She wants to know any recommendations. Also, what would be the reason she would look at the PS3 Move versus the Xbox 360 Kinect?
Okay.
And we got a lot of discussion going on about this, and there's many different reasons why you might look at one versus the other. Now, set aside the problems that PlayStation's been having with their network, what about the hardware pieces of it? Now, I don't know if you have both of these, Justin, if this is something you've been able to look at.
I did.
All right. So,
yeah, I actually did. I've always been an Xbox fanboy since day one, and I had the Kinect. Jumped at the chance to get the Kinect when it first came out. I got a couple games with it. I think it was Your Shape, Fitness Evolved. I got the Dance Central. I got Kinect Sports. And to start with, it was great. I loved the Kinect. It was a lot of fun. But after a little bit of time, it just kind of seemed like it was just the same thing. It really didn't. It had some glitches. It had a couple problems here and there, recognizing the person, the body, and finding out, making sure, especially with Your Shape Fitness Evolved, you would have to be doing certain stretches, and it would actually look and make sure that you were doing the stretch properly. And even though I was doing it, it was saying, oh, you're not doing it right. So the camera wasn't quite right. And that could have been just with the game itself, not the actual camera. But I also then started looking at the game support coming up this year. There really wasn't a lot of game support. I mean, a lot of the games out there were just family friendly. It almost was remnant of the Wii, the type of games that were coming out. So there was no real strong, hardcore gaming that was coming out for it. On the other hand, the Sony PlayStation Move, which is another motion sensing software, it's a little bit like the best of both worlds. You've got the camera that can see you, but you've also got a controller in your hand. It's kind of like the Wii. And then the controller on top lights up. So what it does is the camera looks at the little white ball. It's kind of like those motion tracking balls. And it looks at that and sees, and that's how it goes. But it also has accelerometers inside of the controller to allow you to twist and turn and move it and stuff like that. So the PlayStation Move, however, has got a lot of game support for it. They've got Killzone 3. They've got SOCOM 4. Sports Champions, one of the games, it's very similar to Kinect Sports, but Sports Champions, a lot of fun. They've got disc golf, bocce ball. It's a lot of fun, actually.
Bocce, I played that for the first time. I loved it.
Yeah, I mean, no, I never played it before playing the game, but it was a lot of fun to play. The control is dead on. The camera is very accurate. The games are just a lot more fun on the Move than on the Kinect. So I had to make the really hard decision. I actually sold my Xbox. I'm really upset that I had to sell it, especially because I'll have to throw some pictures up on the blog. But I had I made my own customized San Diego Chargers custom theme Xbox with a cutout. I dremeled it. It took me 42 hours to make this.
Wow.
But it looked perfect. And I ended up selling it on eBay, the custom one with 3 games, the Kinect, 3 controllers, the Wi-Fi adapter, and the remote. And I ended up selling it for, get this, $315.
Wow, and it was custom and it had a Kinect?
Yeah, I was looking to
Yikes.
get like $600 for it because, I mean, it was really worth it. You can't even go out and buy a brand new Xbox 360 Kinect bundle for $399, let alone what I gave this guy for $315. Some guy in Maryland, too. I don't even know he's a Chargers fan or not, but he got a killer deal. So I kept the PlayStation, got the Move, loved it, haven't looked back. I really, really like the Sony PlayStation Move. And also, the other thing was, Microsoft is starting to lose a little bit of support from third-party developers. A lot of the people are starting to come over to the PlayStation side of the house now because now they're understanding, as developers, how to utilize the raw power of the PlayStation 3 to create better games.
Right.
The PlayStation 3 is actually a lot more powerful than the 360, and so we're looking at the PlayStation is going to be around until about 2015, and that's when Sony's going to rumored to be releasing a new console. Whereas Microsoft, they're looking at with the next 1 or 2 years going to have to do that. So if you want a console that's going to last you for a while, the PlayStation, you get the Blu-ray with it. It's just a great overall purchase, I think. And the Move is a lot more fun than the Xbox 360 Kinect.
It's always been better, though.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Well, you got fanboys either way, so.
Do you think, though, that possibly the consumers are going to be affected by the whole problems that have developed with the PlayStation Network? Do you think they're going out to the stores going, gee, I've heard of all kinds of issues there, and Microsoft is saying I can tie this to my computer, I can tie this to my house, and I can network this, although you got to pay a little extra for the networking. I mean, do you think that maybe the consumer is going to be strayed to go to Microsoft that way because of the name?
Possibly, there's a chance in that, but the thing is you got to look at the things. You don't have to use the PlayStation Network to play in the PlayStation. Okay, PlayStation Network is free, but you have to sign up for it. So if you don't want to, you just put the game in and play. You don't have to be on the PlayStation Network to play the game. So if you're not on the network, you don't have to worry about it getting hacked. Again, though, it is free to play if you do choose to play on the PlayStation Network online with other people. Whereas Microsoft, you got to pay $60 a year now.
Yeah.
To be on Xbox Live. Xbox Live is a better community, better structured community, but one of the things that I got fed up with personally is the 12-year-old kids that were on the games. They were just overrunning all of the games like Call of Duty Black Ops, and they just had mouths that would make a sailor blush. I mean,
and you're a sailor.
Around, and I'm a sailor, and I got a pretty dirty mouth. And these kids were making me upset. I mean, there was just like, I'm not even going to get into it, but just imagine the worst of the worst words coming out of a 12-year-old's mouth. And this is the stuff that you heard every day on Xbox. And it's like, I don't want to deal with that anymore. So that's why the PlayStation Network, a little bit more mature community, and it's a lot better in my opinion.
Slick, you have kids. Do they have a console? Do you have one?
Eric had a PlayStation 2, and I know he's now got a handheld, the PSP.
Right.
But other than that, I don't know. He's probably holding off just because he's really happy with the PlayStation 2. Plus, his mother's not going to buy him a PlayStation 3, and neither am I. Now, see with the PlayStation also. Not only was the hardware better, but now I think I don't know if you saw anything about this or not, Justin. But they're coming out with some new bundles to try to get some new people onto the PlayStation now. If you go to their website, they're increasing the space on the hard drive. That was the first thing I saw. They dropped the price and increased the space on the hard drive, and then the next bundle was bundled with some game. You would probably know more about that than I.
Well, they're always releasing new bundles to try to get people to come out. I think the most current bundle they have out there is the PlayStation Move bundle with the PlayStation 3.
Is it like $4.99 or $5.99?
I think the bundle for the PlayStation 3 with the Move is $4.99. Because the Move itself is only $99, so you're looking at the PlayStation 3, which is $299. Actually, I think it might be $399 actually. For the PlayStation Move bundle, but they're always releasing new bundles to try to get new people to come in and to play on the PlayStation. The 320 gigs is I think the largest. I
think the idea of selling the PlayStation 3 with the idea that it has Blu-ray, that was nice at one point. But where you can go out and buy a Blu-ray drive now for $75 and up, depending on where you're buying it and which brand you're buying and whether it has internet connectivity, which I think almost all of them do now. then it's kind of mute. I would sell it on the gameplay capabilities and
exactly
the Wi-Fi capabilities.
That's what it was before. In the very beginning, it was buy the PlayStation 3 to have Blu-ray, and hey, you get a free game system with it. But now, yeah, you're right. Just concentrate on buying it as a gaming system, and oh, by the way, it comes with Blu-ray.
And before you go out and you spend, an extra $100 on the Xbox 360 Wi-Fi Connect, take a look at the DDWRT
Love it.
firmware. Because you could take like a router that, if it's available, and you could do the Linksys WRT54G. Take a look at a router, and you can actually flash it so that you can use that as an access point or bridge. So you're not spending the money for one device that only works on one network, and you've got that capability. Now, D-Link makes a device now that will plug into your Xbox 360 and serve as that, so you can use it for other devices. But if you're looking for a low-cost one, and maybe you've upgraded your router and you still have another wireless 54G laying around, you have that capability now.
I just went out recently and I got the DDWRT. I went to their website, went to their forums because I was in the market to get a new router anyway, one that doesn't crash like the D-Link that I had. So I found on their website that the number one router they recommend was the Asus RT-N16.
Really?
That is the best router that they put on their website because the fact that it's got an overclockable. It's got the ability to be overclocked. Now think about that. A router, overclocking a router, but yeah, it can be done.
Oh, yeah.
And it's got more memory than any other router out there. I think it's got 128 meg base RAM and a 333 megahertz processor. So that's actually a lot faster than any other consumer level router out there right now. So I got that router. It was the last one in stock. Flashed it with DDWRT. Love it.
Well, Rover is saying he's pushing out 70 instead of 28. So, yeah, you could certainly adjust it. That's the nice thing about it. You have the capability, which makes you wonder, why don't the router companies do that anyways?
Yeah, I think what on mine, I pushed out. I think I'm pushing out 45 right now because I live in an apartment, so I really don't need a lot. But yeah, you can go from the minimum of, I think it's 10, which is where it starts out at, and you can go all the way up to 256 milliwatts. But I'd like to have kids someday, so I don't think I'm gonna subject myself to that radiation.
Well, now you know what, you mentioned something too that I thought was kind of interesting, and we're looking into this. Being said, you are in an apartment, but you also have a power line over Ethernet type of situation, and you've run into the situation where suddenly you have strange IP numbers showing up.
Yeah, that was actually kind of weird. I have the Ethernet over power, Ethernet over power, not power over Ethernet. Two different things.
Okay.
But what I have is my DirecTV system. I don't have the ability to have an Ethernet cable running directly to my router. So what I did is DirecTV sells the little Ethernet over power boxes. You plug an Ethernet cable into that, you plug that into your wall, and on the other side of your house near your router, you have another one that plugs into your wall. Ethernet cable comes out of that, goes into your router, and bam, now your DirecTV receiver is hooked up to the internet. So all of a sudden, though, I started getting my wireless clients were starting to get IPs that were not in my DHCP range, and I couldn't figure out what it was because I'm secured. I got WPA2. I've got all that going on. How could somebody get into my network? Well, it turns out I think what happened is somebody around me also has that DirecTV Ethernet over power, and somehow when my wireless clients were asking for an IP address, they were getting into his network via the Ethernet over power line and getting an IP from his network. So I unplugged that. It stopped happening. So what I did then is I plugged it back in, and then I statically assigned all addresses across my network, and nothing is using DHCP, and everything is working fine so far.
Good. So you got that. You nipped it in the bud.
I did. It was a pain in the bud.
So now, we've lost Slick's video, but I've got to ask you, Slick, how are you wired there? Are you wired to a wireless, and then it goes into the DSL filter?
Let's see. From this computer, wireless, it's all the way across the building. By the way, I'm at the opposite end of where the wireless router is. So, getting a line there is not going to happen. And let's see, it goes from the wireless router down to it goes to a splitter. Actually goes to a split. Oh, thanks for showing that, Andy. but here's the trick.
He's turned into a circle.
Slick, turn on a light.
Here's something weird on my end. Now, according to Skype, I'm looking at you and I'm looking at me, but I can't see Justin.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm here.
See, maybe it's because he's showing up here on the Ustream.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah, that's
I said,
weird.
you can take me off the street. You can take that little pick that nothing of me. Oh,
No, 'cause
see? I need to put the 3-shot up.
Because if I do, Slick, I'll have to readjust Justin's camera.
Well,
See, let me show you.
no big loss.
Let me show you how.
Let
me show our viewers here. This is how it's lined up. I don't know if you can see this on the computer there. There's you, Slick. There's Justin. And if I take you out, it moves Justin over. Then that'll means I have to reset up my shot.
The other side of Andy's garage, everybody.
Oh, yeah. Hold on. Justin, you wanted to know if this really was a garage? Take a look.
Yeah, I can see that now. Oh,
and you know what?
Goodness.
Look at this. Gloria's gone, so I can talk about her. Look at this area here. This is set up as a co-host area.
Wow.
And what does she do?
She
takes it over.
The FedEx guy was going by.
Look at that. She takes it over. This is you should see the floor. It's full of fabric and everything because she sews.
I was going to say, wasn't that my spot?
That's your spot, Slick, right there. And look at her drink cups. Drink cups. She just stacks on my bookcase.
A lamp? She put a lamp on my desk?
There's a lamp there. Look. It's crazy. It's crazy.
Trying to move in on you.
And
trying
then
to move in on me.
Ironing board, her sewing stuff.
And what part of town do you live in, Andy? I forgot.
I live in the northwest side of Tucson in a little town called Marana, which if you say it right means pig in Spanish.
Marana. I remember good old Marana.
So, yeah.
I really got to start sleeping in the garage more.
I tell you what, Jonas comes here on Mondays, and we record our Radio Exiles podcast. No, she won't watch it, Dee Dee. Diamond's saying, Andy, do you realize she'll see this later on the posted stream? She won't watch it. She don't even listen to my Radio Exiles podcast. So,
Fun.
She's good for 2 minutes. Wait, let me rephrase that.
Yeah. Whoa there, buddy.
You know, you were getting out of trouble. You were getting out of trouble. Remember that time?
Yes, I remember. Trust me. She likes it. She likes when I was doing the KOLD broadcasts. We're only like 2 or 3 minutes long, but she won't sit and watch an hour of this. Although she wants to start doing her crafts reports for us, so she will be sitting in here once in a while. I'll make her clean up her area though. New book we got in. Wanted to show you this. I can't put this down, and I do websites professionally. I make money doing this, and I'm really liking this book. So if you're somebody that doesn't do websites and you're thinking about doing websites, or even if you do websites, from me as a website developer, this is great. This is the series that was started by David Pogue. Everybody knows David Pogue. He's been on a show a few times. Great guy. He created the Missing Manual series, and then he has writers that write about everything from how to cook, the Missing Manual, how to change your oil, the Missing Manual, to the technical books like this one, which covers HTML5. This book is written by Matthew McDonald, not Norm McDonald. That'd be a fun read too. But he talks about everything from the history of the web to the browser to Elements to JavaScript to ActiveX to features you want to put on the website. So Tyson, I know you're a web guy. You're in our chat room. I recommend getting this just to have. You may not pick up anything from it, or you may have a customer that wants you to build a website and you want to explain something to them. Sometimes they don't care what you say. At least that's what I've found. You show it to them in print, they go, "Oh, okay, I get it." So
how low does it go? Does it go step 1, get a domain?
Pretty much, yeah. Tells you where to get domains, what to think of when you get a domain, what a registrar is, and where you go to get your registrar. And everything from that to, and it obviously it has the missing CD, so you just go online and download it, which is pretty nice. But talks about integrating, Flash content, integrating video, and what the things you shouldn't do. You shouldn't, add too many colors or widgets, which everybody wants to load up widgets. So, I don't know. It's one of those things.
They get widget happy.
Too many widgets. It's just too much.
Dancing
cool.
Colony.
And thank you very much. Tyson has put a link there to the Amazon link right there. So that's very nice. And $20, really? The cover price
Pretty
on
good
it.
Deal.
Well, the cover price here says $30. So if it's on sale, that is a great deal. And again, it's a thick book. It's not. And again, it's actually really good read. so I don't only read it in the toilet.
Pretty thick.
In the library.
In the library. Here we go. All right. What else we got to announce? I mean, we talked about pretty much everything we were going to talk about.
I think so.
Yeah.
Not really much else going on, at least that I got.
E3 will be the big one this weekend. We'll keep a big eye on this coming week of E3, so that next week we can talk a little bit about E3, about some of the cool games that are coming out. We just downloaded Creative Suite 5.5 from Adobe, which it's the master suite. So we're going to look at the production elements of it. We'll tell you what we think of as far as After Effects, as far as the production premium CS 5.5, and of course, I know Slick likes this one, Adobe Audition 5.5. Finally. So we'll tell you about that. We're trying to get our hands on a Mac so we can also test it on the Mac as well. And then we'll keep an eye on what else comes out this week, and we'll be sure to pass that along to you.
Absolutely.
Justin, thanks for coming back, man. It's
Thanks
great.
for having me back.
And hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yes, you will.
Slick, hopefully, I won't say we'll see you because we really can't see you right now.
Might be a hit and miss on that.
Yeah.
I'm always around. Just remember that, everybody. I'm always around.
Even if it has a little circle.
From?
Yes.
All right, gentlemen.
All right. Y'all have a great one, and thank you so much for participating in Tech Talk Radio. Thank you in our chat room. Thanks, everybody, for stopping by. Tell your friends, and we'll be back next week with more of Tech Talk Radio. See you later, Justin. See you, Slick.
See ya.